Coming up next, speaking of 6- and 7-year-olds running around, not being able to sit still, Gallon versus Purple coming up next. 2 priests protect, 2 druid banned. And that leads us to a priest shaman hunter versus a priest shaman warrior lineup.
They're already in the priest mirror. They're already in the priest mirror.
Wow, we held for your story, TJ.
Oh my goodness.
I thought this was a recap of what happened last time they played.
This is Frodan's featured matchup, by the way. Not TJ's Frodan's featured matchup. This is Frodan's featured matchup.
But what's Frodan's featured matchup?
This one. I thought I just said that.
Got it. Oh, wow. There's a tweet that someone sent out where it said,
wow.
They said the TJ Sanders and Frodan cast always devolve into this low-key clown fiesta, and it's literally my favorite part of watching GM. That was made by Aluna SSB. And I said, you know what? That's who we cast for TJ. That one person that appreciates our jokes.
The 0.1%?
The point
That's generous.
0.001% of our audience. What a series of draws coming here for Purple. The Circle of Healing. And the silence on the Northshire Cleric. Also really big.
Gallon got greedy. Not going to lie.
Playing the Northshire Cleric to the Wild Prime Minister?
No, not silencing the opposing Northshire Cleric.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
He was banking on the fact that saying, hey, Purple, if you draw cards, I will also draw cards. But didn't account for the fact that Purple could also have his own silence and turn the tables on that plan. And surprisingly enough, there's a lot riding on this matchup. One, the battle for first place in the division. Now Nalgadon is yet to play this week. He's still sitting at 6-2. If Gallon were to win and tie up Purple at 6-4, and Nalgadon were to lose, those players would be tied at first place. Two, there's a friendly rivalry between these two guys.
These two players used to be on Gamers Origin together.
Yes.
And Gallon and Purple were very supportive of each other's Hearthstone careers. And more so from Purple to support Gallon. Given that Purple had been an established player, been to the World Championship twice, already guaranteed to beat in Grandmasters. Gallon had not experienced any of that. And he had to earn his keep through the Masters Tour Vegas, where he got second place. Tempo generated through this series of trades here is important, so that way Purple doesn't have any Divine Spirit Inner Fire targets. And now Purple can revive those cards through Psychopomp. The thing is, those revives are meh at most. At best, excuse me. Amet. Science has already been used on both sides. Amet seems like it'd be great. However,
the follow-up is mediocre.
Yeah, the injured Tolvir and the injured Blade Master. Super injured bros.
Yeah.
They already have a certain amount of health that they have based anyways, so it doesn't really do much to buff them. That, on the other hand,
ooh.
The Light Warden is good stuff.
Yeah. Injured Tolvir does gain 1 health from that exchange.
It's true. And you get to hear his iconic voice line. Which is that he goes like, I've still got more in me. But he says it in such a frantic way that I really believe him. Just wait for it.
That's good voice acting right there.
I've got more in me. Something like that.
In the light's name.
Let's hear it.
I've got more left in me.
More left in me. That changes.
I always knew that he was a Democrat.
Changes everything.
Gallon really happy with himself.
Yeah.
He really wants to win this match, doesn't he?
I mean, not only like beating Purple, who semi called him out in a friendly
Multiple
banter way,
times.
multiple
Do we have a
times.
clip of that?
I wonder.
We would have gotten to it if TJ
I'm so
finished
sorry.
his story on time.
Well, the question was, did we have it ready?
Yeah, we did.
I think the answer is no.
Yeah,
oh, we did have
had
it ready. Okay.
Because it's my featured match. It's Frodan's featured match, TJ.
We never have clips ready for my featured match.
Yeah. That's because they're not as important as my matches. Just kidding, of course. All Grandmasters matches are all very important to us. Just some less than others.
I must.
Gallon's losing the resource battle here.
Yeah.
But he's winning the board. But he really needs to find a way to capitalize quickly.
I mean, he kind of does. Topsy-turvy pushes the issue.
Topsy-turvy pushes the issue. Also, just having a Light Warden on board that's very resilient, with Purple having already used the one silence.
Right. That also pushes the issue.
That also pushes the issue. You can leave this Neferset Ritualist up.
Quickly.
Trades.
Trade. And then probably heal the Ahmet.
I'd like to heal the injured Blade Master just to prevent it from Wild Pyromancer shenanigans. You know that Purple's still holding the coin.
Yeah.
Samdi, Purple's Hail Mary effort.
Yeah, this is going to pick up a lot of stuff here.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, he will get a Northshire Cleric out of it too. The double beaming sidekick, Light Warden Northshire Cleric. And Injured Tolvir, not the greatest here.
Wondering what Gallon can do. In this position, he can actually utilize Topsy-Turvy offensively. But the problem is that his Ahmet's at 4 health. So if he doesn't heal the Ahmet, the Injured Tolvir is going to start off as a 2-4 and take 3 damage down to a 2-1.
Yeah.
It's not what you want to see.
He can use Topsy-Turvy to kill off the Samdi. The Injured Tolvir to the far right's max health is 7.
I must
because it was played with Ahmet at 7 health, so he could heal it up, Topsy-Turvy, kill it off. He could play for full board control. But again, that's a Topsy-Turvy used, and he's not pressing the issue.
Quickly.
Oh boy. Gallon's running out of time. He has to make a decision soon. I want to clear the Samdi, and I do want to push damage. Or you could also just go all face and say, you know what? You deal with this.
I've got more left in me.
And it seems like that's what he's favoring here. No Wild Pyromancer. No Circle of Healing or any ways to really capitalize off of the Neferset Ritualist for a punish on the with the combo. Normally when you have Northshire Clerics, you can have some spells so that you can draw a bunch of cards and maybe find a way to kill off of Samdi that survives.
I've got more left in me.
But it doesn't seem like Samdi is going to be able to get in for big damage to the face, so Purple's going to have to
Hey, I got
instead. Wow, load up the wall. 20.
But Gallon's got the Topsy-Turvy.
Yeah.
Does he have lethal through it? Yes, he does.
Very much so. Topsy-turvy, ready to go. So Purple's last-ditch effort, not going to be enough. And the tempo gets him there.
Yeah. Nicely done. I like the second to last turn there where he ignored the minions on board, pushed all face, knew he was protected from anything. He took the risk of, you know, maybe a Wild Pyromancer plus a lot of other things. He had a read on 4 cards in the hand because they bought Samdi, so he said, I'm going to put the onus on you to try and make this happen. And takes the dub.
All right. That's true. Game number 1 over to Gallon. Now, TJ, before we go into game number 2, I have a challenge for you.
Okay.
Sit still and don't say anything for 4 minutes. And when we do that, we will continue with Hearthstone Grandmasters America.
I'm out of here.
Looks like the trophy's mine.
Legends say
Powerful treasures are hidden everywhere here in Aldum.
If we hope to defeat Rafam, we'll need as many as we can get. He's already unleashed the ancient plague lords and countless monsters. Keep them distracted, Reno.
Not a problem. This plan is totally gonna work. Ain't that right, Finley?
Oh, yes. I have them right, Red Eye.
There is an artifact here. The name is...
The scales of justice. Oh, it must be really fancy.
only to be used in a time of great peril. Yes, I think this qualifies.
Hey, look, Finley. You've lured one of the plague lords.
Take this, fiend.
In the face! Yeah! Hey, guys, get that treasure. We've got a plague lord to destroy.
Yes, please, hurry.
Not to worry, Finley. We just push this thing right here.
No, that's a trap. Watch out!
It's all good. I am totally tired.
Gracious me.
What we actually need to do is press this. And there.
A
Fish.
No. It's the scales of justice.
Ah, who wants to use it first? Oh, I do. Me. On second thought, maybe give it to Finley?
All you had to do is hold a rope.
Here we go, blaming the tall, ruggedly handsome guy again.
My name is Ryan Murphy-Root. I go by Purple. I really like waking up. The first like 4 or 5 hours are like the best hours of the day. I like taking dogs for walks after my 8 hours of Hearthstone and my couple naps. Unique to me is like my ability to randomly deck people with just random decks that aren't supposed to function like that. I see shifts in patterns in the game where it is no longer possible to win the traditional way, and I tend to see those pretty early.
What are you afraid of?
Snakes, the dark, not necessarily in order. I'm not gonna tell you in which order they are though. Design a Hearthstone card, all right. 3/3, minor, Mac, remove all bombs from your deck. I had to play this one card in every single deck. Well, my boy Arthas just rotated, but my boy King Mukla, he's still in standard. Unfortunately, currently doesn't have a place, but I do like the giant ape sound. Personal goals for the year. Just win? Yeah, just win.
Purple versus Gallon. Game number 1 is in the books as we go into game number 2. The Priest Mirror went Gallon's way after some pretty good technical play. Really favoring the tempo. Even a little greedy, but despite that, all worked out okay. The question becomes if Gallon's going to be able to bust out that Hunter, right? Because he was, yesterday we were talking about how he was talking a bunch of trash about Hunter post-nerf patch. This is the nerf patch to extra arms, to Luna's Pocket Galaxy, to Conjurer's Calling. Since then, Hunter hasn't really seen a lot of popularity, but Gallon was like one of the people reassuring him. He's like, no, Hunter's like really bad. You don't really want to play Hunter ever. Last time, we saw Gallon's Hunter was banned, so we didn't even get a chance to look at it. But today, do we get to see Gallon's Hunter? Not for this game. It's going to be queuing up the Shaman.
Yeah, Shaman makes sense considering the matchups that he has remaining. I guess he still has Priest on the other side. But I don't think that Purple wanted to queue Priest into the potential Hunter. So if that's the logic from Gallon, then his Shaman either lines up into a mirror match or the Warrior. So either a good matchup or a mirror match. And taking a look at the deck list side by side, I don't think there's an advantage either way. One Bog Slosher in Gallon's deck and a Witchwood Piper added in, whereas Purple has 2 Bog Sloshers. And that is the only difference across both players' lineup, or both players' lists. Kind of crazy that they're that similar. They both have 1 copy of Earthshock. They both have 2 Giggling Adventures and no former champs. And they both have the double Mind Control tech. So the mirror matchup for Shamans is very interesting, very swingy.
Yeah, and one interesting to know is that we haven't seen the Shaman mirror in quite some time for the mirror. It's been a few weeks since I can remember the last one off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Pull up the game history, maybe look up a little bit more in depth. But the point is that Shaman's often used as later into the stages of Conquest Shield, oftentimes because it's trying to avoid Priest. But sometimes Shaman's played early if it's the only deck that you have against it. Purple with an opportunity to stick the Evil Totem for another turn. This is really big. Gallon's kind of hoping that these minions stay on the board so they can coin out the Mogu Flesh Shaper and have a way to kill off that totem. So in Purple's mind, it's actually best for him to just play Kobold Lackey and nothing else.
Yeah.
Don't totem.
Very smart.
Stuff from Purple.
Yeah. Now Gallon's back to square one. Purple continues to gain value off the Evil Totem.
Yeah, and I think this might be a situation where Gallon might have to just prioritize playing like Bog Slosher and hoping that his opponent doesn't have a way to kill it off. But then when you develop onto the board, the dynamic with Flesh Shaper, Mogu Flesh Shaper, is that the turn that you want to play, if you can't play it and you develop another minion instead, chances are your opponent has the ability to use Mogu Flesh Shaper against you.
Yep.
So Gallon playing a Bog Slosher plays directly into Purple's Flesh Shaper and Mutate, and that might be the game. It might be one of those situations where it's too far behind. But Gallon does have his own Flesh Shaper. So my caveat to that is Gallon can respond by going for his own plays. Important to note, too, that both players are going to be playing around Mind Control tech profusely. Interesting trade. Guess he just doesn't want...
He wants him to have to use the coin.
Yeah, you're right. He wants him to use the coin to get the Mogu Flesh Shaper out.
I hope you like my invention.
Gallon wants to go for a big swing.
Yeah, he says it's not enough to just go Flesh Shaper right now. I need to go minion, Flesh Shaper into double Mutate. And he also has Giggling Inventor too. So there could be an opportunity for Gallon to go for coin Giggling Inventor into Mogu Flesh Shaper and evolve both of those things.
Yeah, but at the same time, letting this Evil Totem stick onto the board is...
Yeah, that's usually a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Purple's so far ahead right now. Yeah. Purple's quest is almost done, and Gallon has yet to cross the 50-yard mark. This does look like a good opportunity for Gallon to play Mogu Flesh Shaper.
But it's kind of similar to last turn, except now the board is bigger.
Come dance to my song.
Ooh, fancy. So now can use coin, evolve into the Mogu Flesh Shaper, and then evolve that.
Where shall I strike? Mortals are so squishy.
Whoa!
Wow!
And that draws the next Mogu Flesh Shaper! And he gets to value trade over it!
And
Oh no, it was 1 mana. It was 1 mana.
Yeah, because he ended up trading the minion.
Ah, he had to trade in the minion. Imagine though.
What a swing.
Imagine though if he was able to play that Mogu Flesh Shaper and trade over the 7/5 because the Mogu Flesh Shaper is an 8/9, and then he could have mutated the Mogu Flesh Shaper that was at low health. Blah! I guess you'd mutate the Akali, I think, still.
Possibly. Either way, this is a really good spot for Gallon all of a sudden, despite the fact that Purple seemed to be in the driver's seat for a large portion of time. And I thought Purple was going to finish the quest this turn.
Yeah.
He still does have the ability to do some nice plays here. The Witchy Lackey for his side could also be good.
Yeah. He got a lot of value off that Evil Totem.
Purple looks so distressed.
There's a new ending.
Well, Luciana is pretty bad as far as 9 mana minions go.
Yeah.
Double time and double pay.
It's fine for Gallon to lose Malygos. It's not like his deck has many spells anyways.
Yeah, it's pretty much just first shock.
And now Gallon can... Oh, can't finish the quest cleanly this turn and get the double Sandstorm Elemental, but that's not a big deal. Questing Explorer is still great, though, because he gets to card draw. Otherwise, his quest would have finished beforehand.
Yep.
Of course it's the right way.
The important thing, this Mogu Flesh Shaper. Whew.
It is big. That is an 8/9.
Mortals are so squishy.
Mind control tech here would be potentially really big. Oh, Purple can actually kill off this Mogu Flesh Shaper with the Cobalt Lackey and the Weaponized Wasp. It is a lot of damage overkill, though.
In which case, it might be better to go for Sludge Surfer and try and find Goblin Lackey. Nothing. Doesn't find it at all. Earthquake. Hagatha's scheme. He could just play control.
Yeah, just becomes a control shaman. Wow!
It's the right way.
Serpent Egg. this matchup is so much crazier than the pre-smear.
A weird turn of events.
Because now, yeah, Purple's going to take some damage, but his follow-up is just insane all of a sudden. And now it seems like it's going to come down to like this weird like resource parity where Purple has the ability to clear a board and reset, and then it comes down to who can get the most value out of the cards.
Right, and Gallon playing this again, this Sandstorm Elemental isn't capitalizing the hero power, it's just normal Battle Cry synergies.
Yeah.
Seems like an Earthquake to me.
Yeah, and then he sticks a 3/4 on board.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of damage.
Yeah, 3/2. But that's fine. I mean, it's something on board that Gallon has to think about. And it's not like Gallon's hand is the best. Shadowwalk's a decent pickup, though. He has played Sludge Slurper, Witchy Lackey, 2 Novice Engineers, Sandstorm Elemental, and Witchwood Piper.
Okay, so you would draw cards.
He would draw cards.
I wonder.
Wouldn't really generate a board, though. Now he will. Or we can go Giggling Inventor, Mogu Flesh Shaper, Evolve. I can't evolve anymore.
Mortals are so squishy.
Shutterwalk here plays the Sandstorm Elements that we're talking about, but maybe in his mind.
Does play it twice.
Does play it twice. Gallon also might be afraid of the fact that Purple could also have Bloodlust in the hand. He saw 2 spells being generated, so he might feel like he has to play Shutterwalk in this spot.
I mean, it draws him on a cards in a situation where right now he doesn't have any cards. There's many cards that actually do a lot on the board.
Ooh, bounces back to Giggling.
Okay.
Definitely the best one out of all the options. Jeez, full hand.
Wow.
Well, we have the Witchy Lackey to start things off here, and then you can weaponize Wasp.
This will kill off 1.
The Shutterwalk.
Yep.
So it's actually good to do too, because Cobalt Lackey does 2 damage twice as opposed to 4 damage.
Yeah. So he kills off that Annoyatron, can trade in the other one, trade off the Iron Beak Owl, push face for the 3 from the Mogu Flesh Shaper, weaponize Wasp the Shuttlewalk, and Witchy Lackey. I mean, that seems like a decent play. Maybe he wants to try and find Barista value instead of Witchy Lackey value here, but then he doesn't kill the Shuttlewalk. Well, he can if he Baristas now, but then he just used the Cobalt Lackeys that he got from Barista.
Just gonna go for max evolve shots.
There's little time.
I mean, purple does have a lot of direct damage, and his opponent's at 17 life.
Ooh.
Oh, the Worgen deals damage to his own taunt.
Yeah.
So he might be dead. How much damage is this now?
He needs 12?
So
What's
Lackey,
the card in the far left?
Life Drinker. Hero Power, Life Drinker is 6. Plus the Goblin Lackey is another 8. Plus the 8 on board.
Yeah, that's lethal.
The Worgen Abomination!
Oh my.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Gallon gets the win, equalizes the standings with purple, and now Gallon's the one who gets the winner's interview. Huh.
That is
Really interesting.
Yeah, I could see where Purple's head was at with that last line of play. He wanted to try and get Barista value before all of his lackeys were dead and before Barista was pretty much never going to get value again. But he had to forego using the or killing the Shutterwalk, which left a lot of damage on board. And the potential with that full of a hand is astronomical. Purple was setting up for lethal himself, though. If like any of his minions survive, he has Hero Power Double Kobold Lackey and Weaponized Wasp in hand.
Right.
So right off the bat, that's 14 damage. He needs 3 to stick, which is not that much to ask from his deck and from that big board that he was building. He just needed to survive 1 turn, and he didn't. So he took a risk, didn't pay off. Means Gallon wins.
Maybe. I mean, that's such a weird thing to play around a 7-mana minion. It also could have been Baron Geddon.
It could have been Baron Geddon, but he had lethal even. He didn't even attack with the Iron Beak Owl at the end. He had lethal even if the Annoyatron survives on board.
That's
so
true. He had 2 damage over.
Yeah, he had 2 damage over. So it wouldn't have mattered at the end of the day.
It was just funny the way it wrapped.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and check in with Gallon for a couple words on his victory. Gallon, can you hear us?
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going all right. How are you? You must be feeling pretty good. Taking down Purple, your arch nemesis, 2-0 again.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of like stuff going on before this match started. You know, people were asking, "Oh, what are you gonna say if you win or if Purple wins or something?" And I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna go clean and simple. Purple is a fantastic guy. Without him, I wouldn't even be in this spot. Like, first of all, he lost to me, so I wouldn't be in this spot exactly. But actually, in Grandmasters overall,
okay.
I wouldn't be in GM. I wouldn't have a team. I wouldn't have been able to compete last year if it wasn't for Purple. And actually, like, show how good I was. So I like the guy a lot. I'm glad that I could play him in the highest league possible.
All right, so what does he have to tweet this time?
Well, what we were going to do, okay, so I was trying to get Purple to do this thing where the winner, recently Firebat had a clip of him on Twitch where he's saying like the Teapot song, where he's like, I'm a little teapot, short and stout, but Purple wouldn't agree to it. So that's just not happening. I'm not doing it right now.
Oh.
That's Purple's fault.
Weird. Okay. Well, we're just going to blow past that one.
I mean, why would anybody not agree to do that?
So, Gallon, you had
go ahead.
You have a Reno Hunter in your lineup, and I remember that when we were talking post-patch, You were talking a lot of trash about Rexar and the Reno Hunters and saying like how it's just going to be so bad. You brought it in your lineup this week, and you played it 0 games. Why even bring Reno Hunter after all the trash that you talked?
Did you see how it got banned in that game versus Eddie?
I did.
But
I also saw you get 2-0'd by Eddie right after.
Well, if I had played Reno Hunter against Eddie, I would have also gotten 2-0'd because that's a game loss because I queued the wrong deck, Dan. So.
Yeah, Dan.
Well, you would have saved us about 30 minutes of our lives.
Yeah.
Dan, you know what? I watched you a lot this week.
No.
Okay,
this interview's over. Thanks for joining us, Gal.
I want to hear this.
Bad decks.
I want to hear
bad
this.
Decks, I've seen you play Quest Mage on ladder at like rank 3, and all you say is, "Oh my God, Quest Mage is the nuts." Okay, and I've watched you do stuff like Pyroblast people on turn 10. I've seen you misplay. I've seen you cast like 2 fireballs instead of like a fireball, frostbolt for lethal. So you know what? If we're gonna talk about bad decks, I want to talk about Raid the Sky Temple as being the worst card in Saviors of Uldoon.
And I still win with it.
Well, that's because you're good at the game, Dan.
No.
Oh no! Come on!
Wrong again.
You had the perfect. That was a perfect spiel, and then you followed it up with "You're good at the game."
At rank 3, I mean, Dan can climb past.
You're supposed to just. Okay.
All right. Well, Gallon, thank you so much for joining us. It was a wonderful interview. Any last words you like to say? You're actually tied. You're tied for like top of the standings here. If now Gadon drops his next 2,
I don't know if I'm supposed to like go or not. Like it keeps flipping back.
I don't know.
Comes up, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not supposed to talk anymore. I'm just gonna leave now, and whatever question you asked, it probably wasn't important.
Dan actually controls that, so he's trying to get you
would
to
you
go.
like to cast instead of me, Gallon?
Oh yeah, sure. What time?
Next week.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, we'll see what you got then.
All right, I guess Gallon's replacing Dan next week.
Oh no, now he actually has to. All right, well, see you around.
See you, Dan. See you, TJ.